Alright, so today we are going to be doing another coverage where I just take a look at the trends that are going on, the status of the four progressive channels that we look at, four of the major ones, excluding TYT. These are the four most major progressive channels I like to do a look at, see how they're doing, compare them. And anytime there's a sort of change, I like to do an update on that. So in this situation, we have yet another change that has been going on. Now, as you guys know, David Pakman had actually overtaken Secular Talk, Kyle Kulinski that is, in subscriber count, which was surprising. Although if you looked at the numbers, it was bound to happen at some point because of the numbers. But nonetheless, was pretty surprising. You know, Kyle kind of was the highest of the four for a consistent amount of time, a long amount of time. But it looks like Kyle has taken back his spot as at the top between these four shows that we're looking at. Now, quickly, before I jump into this, I do want to let you guys know that I'm over on Patreon. Now, over on Patreon, I post Patreon-only content, so you become a patron. I have a bunch of content over there. Just posted up a new video talking about some of the delusions of Tulsi Gabbard from Nico House, and also talking about how he actually blocked me on Twitter and have some, Jimmy Dore on Tulsi, some more Nico House stuff. Some good content over there you definitely want to go check out. It's patreon.com/theprogressivevoice. The link will be in the description box down below. So, make sure to go check that out. With that said, let's get back to this. So, as we can see here, Kyle is at 745,000 subscribers, a very high amount, of course. Now, he has been doing some events, so it made sense that he got a big boost. He was obviously at Politicon, did a lot of different things at Politicon, did, I think 3 panels and a debate or something, maybe even more, but I think it was 3 panels and a debate, maybe 4 panels and a debate. So, that is what Kyle has been doing. And then after that, he went on the Joe Rogan podcast. So there's a lot of energy. There's a lot of energy around that came to his channel from those 2 events that he took part in. So he's got 19,000 subscribers in the past 30 days. That's up 156%. And he has gained almost 10 million views in the past 30 days. And as you can see here, this weekly sub count is just absolutely spiked. Now, obviously, if you look at this, and by the way, I'm not happy with the change that YouTube did with the abbreviation. It's actually quite frustrating. And so I think that's very stupid. The good thing is I can look at the sub count for my account, but for my own, but it's still pretty annoying. But as you can see here, if you look at this, there's been a huge jump in subscribers. Now, this happens anytime someone appears on the Joe Rogan podcast. Anytime someone appears on the Joe Rogan podcast, they get somewhere between 4 to 10,000 subscribers around there. And so I guess here he got around, somewhere in the ballpark of 10, 12,000 subscribers, somewhere around there. And so that was the huge boost for him that put him over David Pakman. Now, Kyle's Joe Rogan appearance is actually...
I just think that...
is doing pretty well right now. It's doing pretty well. It's at 1.57 million views. That's actually up from his previous... appearance, so that's doing better. It's also got a very high like-to-dislike ratio. Some comments that I have on this are that, Kyle was clearly way too energetic in this one, and he explained that basically he had drank coffee beforehand and he had coffee from Joe during the podcast. You can tell he's extremely jittery, he talks very fast, kind of like Ben Shapiro. He was really quick to respond to, so he definitely had too much caffeine, for sure. But also, as you guys know, I made a video where I had a theory that, it looks like Joe Rogan cut out a comment about Dave Rubin twice because they were, basically taking a dump on classical liberals, and there's weird snippets, 2 of them, conveniently as soon as they talk about how dumb people are who call themselves classical liberal and talking about how it's super misleading. But Kyle basically says, "Oh no, that's not true. It was something else," and I believe it. I don't think he's lying. I think he's telling the truth about it. I don't think he's making it up. So that, I guess, is officially debunked now. So just keep in mind. Just wanted to let you know that that was not actually the case. But with that being said, that's the Joe Rogan experience, and he overtook David Pakman, who's at 740,000 subscribers. David's videos recently, some of his videos I find pretty funny. I saw his video about how the border wall can be cut through with like a saw that you could buy at like Home Depot or something like that, like for $50, like or something maybe even cheaper. I find those videos very funny. And he's quick to the point. They're interesting topics, and I enjoy those videos. Like his video he did about Trump taking those Sudafed pills. It's some interesting stuff. I'm actually surprised he's not pulling in more subscribers, because a lot of those Trump videos pull really good views. As you guys know, David's channel has completely gone through the roof because of the Trump administration. That's why his whole channel is just completely gone like crazy. So he's at 740k subscribers, only 8k this past month, which would be about what Kyle would have without the Joe Rogan experience. He's also at almost 10 million views, which is a very good mark. Looks like they're doing very good well in the view department. But if we kind of go down here, this is pretty alarming. These are pretty alarming numbers here, folks. I mean, this is insane. I don't know how this is possible, considering, the view counts are still pretty much just as high. So I'm not really sure how this is working. But if you look at this, I mean, he went from a consistent massive rise. Not only that, but he was a consistent gainer of anywhere between 15 and 20,000 a month in terms of subscribers. He's now below even those numbers, okay? So this is really bad. I mean, you're talking about being in 7,000 subscribers compared to these other months. Something happened. I don't know what it is, if the algorithm finally kicked in on his channel, but something happened to go from, having 35k in a month, 25, 13 and 15 and 20 and all these. Something happened. I don't know what happened, but something really dropped off. So these are alarming numbers for the David Pakman show, because they're clearly not correlating in the same way that they were before. And to get 7,000 subscribers and 9.5, there's something weird going on. What is that's happening? I genuinely, I don't know what to tell you. Now, we jump into Sam Seder's channel. He's at 695k. His sub count seems to continue to be massive, like crazy. 695k, 26k for the last 30 days. I mean, that's amazing sub growth. That's insane sub growth. He's at 10 million as well. And man, this guy, I don't even know why it's going. I'm not even sure why it is that this channel just consistently gets so many subscribers. I haven't spotted any specific videos or anything like that. Might have to do a bit of a deeper search for that. But man, this channel is really proven to be a consistent, massive gainer for quite a while now. We go down here and look, the views have stayed consistent as well, between like 10 and 11 million. And, the subs have just been, I mean, this is insane. I mean, I've never seen anything like this. Look at how many months there are of consistent, like 20 plus Ks, and you're talking about many of these being in the 30s. So I'm not sure what kind of magic YouTube is providing the Majority Report with, but man, YouTube is definitely really helping out the Majority Report, because these sub gains are absolutely insane. I mean, the consistency of that is truly remarkable, to say the least. And then the final channel, of course, that we have here is the Jimmy Dore show. He's really lagging in comparison to everyone else. He's really been separated from the Majority Report in terms of sub count. He's at 637,000. He's gaining 12k a month, which is it's a respectable number, I would say. And he's gaining at about 8.3 million views per month. Now, if we go down here, He had a nice month in August, it seems, but a lot of these other months have been pretty underwhelming, to say the least, from Jimmy Dore. 12, 9, these are pretty, they're not that great in the context of a channel at his pace, especially when considering if you're trying to keep up with everyone else, you know what I'm saying? So, Kyle has overtaken David again, is what it seems to be. How long will that last? I would say a good amount of time, unless something significant happens. Just because, and I say that just because, if David's only going to be pulling like 8 Gs in subs a month, then he's going to be able to hold on for a bit. Although it's going to be pretty close because, Kyle, without the Joe Rogan podcast, is getting about the same subscriber intake as David Pakman is. So it'll certainly be a little bit close, but I think that Kyle will probably hold on for quite a bit because the David Pakman channel has definitely been taking some sort of hit. Not really sure what it is, but something has happened to the David Pakman channel for sure. Because I don't know why he's had this sort of sudden collapse in terms of sub intake. I'm not sure why that is, but this is what the field is looking like. Kyle's on top, followed by David, and then Sam, who, if Sam continues at his rate, he's going to keep gaining, and he's going to keep, coming in closer, because he's not that far off. And in a month where they pull, 30, and David pulls, 8, he picked up, 22K in terms of ground for subs. So, he's sort of sneaking in there as well, is what he's doing. He's sort of sneaking in there as well. That concludes this segment. Let me know your thoughts on this down below. What you think the trends are going to continue being. Very curious to hear them down below. Let me know your thoughts.